With the first pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Goff, quarterback, California.
How exactly did we get here? Close to 5 months ago, on January 3rd, the Tennessee Titans had clinched the number 1 overall pick after a Week 17 loss to the Indianapolis Colts. On that same day, the Rams had lost in overtime to the 49ers to clinch the 15th pick in the upcoming NFL Draft. The first 20 picks were set and the top 5 went as such. Tennessee had number 1, Browns had number 2, Chargers held pick 3, Cowboys were at pick 4, and the Jags would round out the top 5. For months, it was obvious the Titans were going to select Ole Miss offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil. Many mock drafts had him going at that coveted number 1 spot, as it was a fit for Tennessee too. In the 2015 draft, they had selected Oregon quarterback Marcus Mariota with the number 2 pick, so it made the most sense for Tennessee to build around their guy. Tunsil was already used to the hype as he was a 5-star recruit, and he would only improve at Ole Miss, developing elite footwork and speed. He was viewed as the best tackle in a great draft class to snag one. Notre Dame's Ronnie Stanley, Michigan State's Jack Conklin, and Ohio State's Taylor Decker were all viewed as top 20 picks. But that was too boring. The NFL is a quarterback league, and the draft is where teams make splash plays for quarterbacks in hopes of creating a dynasty. In 2014, the Browns traded up for Texas A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel. In 2012, we saw the infamous RG3 trade where the Rams received 3 first-round picks from the Redskins. This is not a recent trend either, as back in 2001, we saw Atlanta trade up to the number 1 pick to select Michael Vick. This trend has picked up a lot of steam in recent years though, with the 49ers move for Trey Lance, Kansas City snagging Patrick Mahomes, and many more. This is where the Rams come into the equation. Ever since the Rams selected quarterback Sam Bradford with the number 1 overall pick, they could not find stability. In Bradford's 4 years as starter, we would see him be placed on IR twice, with the second time causing him to miss the entire 2014 season and end his time with the Rams. Bradford would go 18, 30, and 1 in St. Louis. But ending his time in St. Louis was not his decision. Instead, the Rams would deal him to the Eagles in exchange for quarterback Nick Foles, a 2015 4th, and a 2016 2nd. Foles would go 4-7 in his 11 games as starter for the Rams that season, as Case Keenum would sub in for the last 4 games and go 3-1, subsequently taking the Rams from a potential top 8 pick to the middle of the round. In Sam Bradford's first and only year in Philly, he would start 14 games and go 7-7, throwing 19 touchdowns and 14 picks during said games, as the team would go 7-9 and really couldn't find their footing all season long, as Philly would end up with the 13th pick. The Eagles and the Rams would suffer the same fate after both teams were looking for an overdue change at the most important position in sports, but would fall flat into mediocrity. Both teams wanted to cut out the carousel ride of QBs, and luckily for them, the draft was only 4 months away. But with the Titans seemingly set on Tunsil, there was little speculation for a trade-up. That is where the Rams surprised everyone. On April 14th, the new Los Angeles Rams would make a splash move. That splash move was offering the Titans a deal they could not refuse in exchange for the number 1 pick. The Rams received the first overall pick, a 2016 4th and 6th, as the Titans would receive pick 15, 2 2016 second rounders, a 2016 3rd, a 2017 1st, and finally a 2017 3rd. The Rams had made their move. In fear of the Browns potentially taking a QB at pick 2, it made sense to go all in and get whoever their guy was. With this trade, the Rams become a new team with a new leader during their move to Los Angeles, and Tennessee could give Marcus Mariota anything and everything he could need. Years of instability seemingly gone, as the Rams now had a decision to make between Cal quarterback Jared Goff and North Dakota State quarterback Carson Wentz. Jared Goff was a 3-year starter at the University of California and led the team to only 1 winning season that came in 2015. He was viewed as the most pro-ready QB in this class with great accuracy and a high football IQ. Also, being Cal's starting quarterback doesn't hurt in the context of being in Los Angeles either. Wentz, on the other hand, was in North Dakota, and he was a winner there. 4 national championships in 4 years was no small feat. It was FCS playoffs instead of FBS, which some fans harped on for lack of competitions, as some did not see the issue. Wentz had an ideal NFL frame with great accuracy, pocket awareness, and good mobility. These two QBs were viewed at the top of the class, with Goff being viewed as the pro-ready prospect and Wentz being viewed as the project prospect. It was up to the Rams on who they wanted. They were 97% sure on which QB 4 days after the trade, and as they knew, the public was left guessing. We knew one of the two quarterbacks were going number 1, but where does that lead the next? We would find out on April 20th as the Eagles would make the jump and trade for the Browns' number 2 overall pick. This trade was massive. The Eagles gave up pick 8, their 3rd and 4th rounders, their 2017 first, and their 2018 second in exchange for pick 2 and a 4th. The Eagles were in position for a QB, but once again, it was not their choice. It was the Rams' decision. Goff or Wentz?
With the first pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Goff, quarterback, California.
And there it is. Now, let's see the next one.
With the second pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Carson Wentz, quarterback, North Dakota State.
The results of these two quarterbacks' time with their drafted teams was also eerily similar. Both guys would garner a lot of hype during the early years of their career, but losing games caused by mediocre play would cause both fan bases to turn against their respective QB. In the same 2021 offseason, Jared Goff will be packaged with 2 first-round picks plus a 3rd-round pick to Detroit in exchange for Matthew Stafford, and Carson Wentz will be sent to the Colts in exchange for a conditional 2nd-round pick that would convert into a 1st. Oddly enough, the end goal was reached for both teams. In 2017, Philadelphia won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles as their starter and Wentz injured during a potential MVP run. And a few years later, the Rams would reach the mountaintop in Stafford's first season in Los Angeles. What a strange, beautiful, and oddly similar decade for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams.